The Death of Athena Liu. June Hayward, a struggling white writer, is envious of her friend, Athena Liu, an Asian-American literary sensation. While June's debut novel flopped, Athena has secured a lucrative book deal, a Netflix adaptation, and critical acclaim. One night, after celebrating another one of Athena's achievements, the two return to Athena's apartment. During their conversation, Athena casually reveals that she has just finished a new novel about Chinese laborers in World War I, a topic largely overlooked in Western literature. Athena shows June the manuscript, but before they can discuss it further, Athena suddenly chokes on a piece of food and dies in front of June. In a moment of impulse, June steals Athena's manuscript before calling for help, stealing the work and reinventing herself. June initially convinces herself that she is merely finishing Athena's work. She edits the manuscript, tweaks some passages, and removes some sections she considers unrelatable for Western audiences. She then submits it to her agent under the name Juniper Song, which she believes sounds ambiguous enough to be perceived as non-white. The book, The Last Front, is picked up by a prestigious publisher and marketed as a groundbreaking historical novel. The literary world embraces June, showering her with the praise she always craved. Despite some early skepticism about her background, the ambiguity of her pen name and her insistence that she has done the research allow her to pass as an authority on the subject. The rise to fame and the first cracks. With The Last Front released, June enjoys a level of success she never imagined. She appears on panels, gives interviews, and experiences the validation that Athena always had. However, the Internet begins speculating about her identity. Some readers question why there is so little information about Juniper Song's background. Others point out that Athena had been working on a similar novel before her death. June, growing increasingly paranoid, obsessively monitors social media. She aggressively defends herself online, attacking critics and insisting that The Last Front is her work. However, Athena's old friends and some literary insiders begin openly questioning whether Athena was the true author. Internet backlash and the fear of exposure. June faces a growing wave of online backlash, led by those who accuse her of cultural appropriation. Some readers call her a fraud, while others defend her, arguing that writers should be allowed to write outside their lived experience. June becomes fixated on controlling the narrative, deleting negative comments, arguing with strangers, and even creating fake accounts to defend herself. As scrutiny intensifies, June's grip on reality starts slipping. She isolates herself, fearing that any wrong move could expose her. At the same time, she rationalizes her actions, believing that Athena was privileged in her own way and that June deserved this success. Sabotage and manipulation. In an attempt to shift public perception, June starts a smear campaign against Athena posthumously. She subtly implies in interviews that Athena was arrogant, elitist, and dismissive of other writers. She plants doubts about whether Athena could have written the novel in its final form. June also tries to manipulate Athena's legacy by controlling her unpublished works. When she learns that Athena's family is considering publishing some of her old drafts, June panics, fearing that one of them might reveal The Last Front as Athena's original work. She secretly reaches out to industry contacts to discourage the project, using her newfound influence to undermine Athena, even after her death. The breaking point. Exposed. Despite her efforts, the truth begins to surface. An old acquaintance leaks emails proving that Athena had completed The Last Front before her death. A journalist publishes an exposé detailing June's theft and her attempts to cover it up. Social media explodes with rage. June is doxxed, harassed, and publicly shamed. Her publisher drops her. Fellow authors who once supported her distance themselves. The literary world that once embraced her now sees her as a pariah. June, refusing to accept responsibility, sinks into paranoia and self-pity. She blames cancel culture, the publishing industry, and Athena's lingering influence. She still refuses to admit that she stole the book. Ending, the next chapter. As June's career crumbles, she begins plotting her next move. She contemplates writing a memoir to tell her side of the story, convinced that she can spin her downfall into a redemption arc. The novel ends with June still trapped in her delusions, unwilling to face the truth about what she's done. Themes and analysis. Cultural appropriation and literary gatekeeping. The book critiques how white authors exploit non-Western stories while marginalized writers struggle for recognition. The publishing industry's hypocrisy. Kuang exposes the industry's performative diversity efforts and its role in amplifying problematic narratives. Internet backlash and cancel culture. The novel examines social media's power in shaping reputations and how public opinion can be weaponized. Jealousy, privilege, and entitlement. June embodies white privilege and entitlement, believing she deserves success despite her mediocrity.